Hello, contractors, and welcome to Toolbox for the Trades. My name is Jackie Aubel, and today I am talking with Scott and Vicky Irwin, the owners of Network Plumbing in Sydney, Australia. Scott and Vicky were actually the first contractors to pioneer ServiceTitan Down Under. I hope you enjoy their energy, their humor, and their business insight as much as I did. Scott and Vicky Irwin, you are the owners of Network Plumbing, and you are our first ever Australian shop on Toolbox for the Trades. Welcome, guys. I can't wait to talk to you.
Woo, thank you.
Thanks
for having us.
Thanks for having us, and stoked to be the first. We'll see how it goes, right?
You're going to do fantastic. A little bit of a background, guys. Since we started Toolbox for the Trades about 5 years ago, we've always had a small Australian listenership, and I am so excited to take the show finally to some Australian customers and talk about the Australian experience of being tradespeople. So let's get into it. I want to start out with an icebreaker, though, and I want to know, what's your favorite thing about working together as a married couple?
I could say when Scott leaves the office, that would kind of start it off with I guess my favorite part is that we get to share time together all day, every day.
Can't lie on those
True.
things.
It's true. I mean, working together and living together can be very, very difficult, very challenging at times, but we make the most of it. We tend to laugh at each other all day long now, so it's good.
I think one of the better things working together for us on our world is that Vic has the whole back end of this business covered, and I had the front end with the guys covered between different managers and stuff. That generally that's how it works. So if I know that Vic's got the back end covered, which is accounts, marketing, and HR and any of that stuff, all good. And then the front end's pretty easy for us. So that is really important to me to know that it's covered and I don't have to worry about it. As a husband and wife, and then if there's issues, we talk about at home. Try not to talk about work at home. That's pretty impossible, I would say, most of the time. But we have a lot of fun. You can tell we love what we do. And we love it. The people we work with makes coming to work really good.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So, Scott, why don't you tell us the early days of starting Network Plumbing and some of the challenges you faced when you started? Because you started the company, I believe, in 1987, right?
Yeah, 1987, 11th November, actually. Because I love and I'm so passionate about what I was doing, I really didn't have any challenges, not what I would call challenges. If there was one challenge in our world, it was probably came in financial crash 07, 08, whatever, I'm thinking that. And that was when we really got hammered and we lost half, because we were at that point in time, we were probably 90% commercial work, being commercial maintenance, and 10% residential. And we lost, and I think we were doing $6 million a year at that time. And we lost 50% of our revenue overnight. Just bang.
Gone.
And we were heavily into property investment and commercial real estate ourselves. And we just got absolutely nailed. It was a real suck time for a lot of people. The good thing about us, we picked that $3 million that we lost. We picked that up within 6 months. So that happened in December, January.
Mm-hmm.
We were back at $6 million by the following year.
Got it.
So 12 months back there, and then we'd done pretty much a full focus swing into residential. So if that was a challenge, I reckon that's the only challenge.
Well, I don't know. I'd also put it down to we at times actually grew the business. So we expanded and put more team members on, thought, yeah, this is what we want to be doing. And then all of a sudden we went, oh no, this is way too hard. And we just retracted back. And so while we kind of grew and then we kind of pushed back again and then we kind of grew again and went, oh, do we really want to do this? And then once we found the right team members, the right people that could help us to actually grow in the right direction, that's when we really, so that would be my only challenge that I think that we have.
Yeah, it's to us, or definitely to me, if we come to work and we love what we do, love the people we work with, what challenges is really that hard? No one's dead. If no one's dead, it's not a bad day, really. So I don't look at it as that we have a lot of challenges. Money fixes most problems in our world. So like we break something, we just pay for it. And that's basically our worst issues, really. As long as no one gets hurt, we're in front of the game.
Dang. What is it about Australia where you got so much optimism? I absolutely love it. Maybe just because I'm a jaded New Yorker, but wow, what a fantastic answer.
But seriously, if you're not optimistic, you can't do this if you're not optimistic. If you're a pessimistic person in this world, you're never going to get anywhere. in personally or at work, it just won't happen.
No.
The other thing I really think that really we nail this really well here is we have fun. Like we have a ton of fun in our
Too much.
probably too much. Like we're not really that professional at all.
Oh no, on the exterior we have to be professional, but on the interior, yeah, no, not really.
So Vicky, you joined the company in 1992. So I want to know what it was like transitioning to working with Scott.
Well, I
Loves it. She
met
loves it. I was like, can I say she loves it?
I love it. I actually met Scott in 88, so just after he started working for himself. And
Mhm.
at that time, he was all by himself, and then he put his first apprentice on. So I was working in hotels, and then I went into real estate, and then we got married in 95. Gosh, it makes me sound really old. After that, I just decided it was time to really put our focus into one place. And so that's when I kind of joined the team, which is fantastic. It was a team of 3 at the time.
She's actually left a bit out. She actually did all the paperwork for me
Yeah.
at night.
Yeah. So I'd work during the day, and at night I would, actually, I was working nights at the time. And during the day, I would do all the paperwork and book work. So,
Wow. All right.
Yeah.
And so, Scott, just to keep me on the same page, you mentioned when 07, 08, when that crash happened, you guys were doing mostly commercial. Did you start off doing commercial work primarily for plumbing?
I love construction.
Construction. There you go.
So my, if you wanted to say, if I wanted to do plumbing, I would do construction every day of the week because I love it. I love building stuff. And that we did a lot of new work back then. And it was tricky building stuff, commercial and residential. And then you'd fit your sewer choke in or whatever on the way home from there. So the transition happened. We started doing a lot of what you would call condominium work, we call strata work.
Mhm.
They were one of our first customers, and that side of the business grew pretty well. So that ultimately replaced the commercial side of our world. So we don't even touch commercial now.
yeah.
Yeah. So now are you mostly residential?
Yeah.
Wouldn't we be
We did a full
full suite?
360
We don't do any
shift.
builders, nothing. It's all, it's either residential or strata work.
Got it. Okay, cool. And strata, I'm
It's
still
not many at
familiarizing
work.
myself. Yeah, I'm still familiarizing myself with the Australian landscape. Is that also through, would that, I guess, be considered light commercial in the way ServiceTitan thinks about it?
Anywhere where you don't get paid straight away would come under the commercial flag, and resi is COD work.
Okay, cool. All right. So you guys mentioned, you had the big crash in 07, 08. I feel almost kind of silly that I was like, oh my gosh, that affected you guys too. Of course it affected them, Jackie. Like this was a
Was a
global
world
event.
crash.
Yeah.
It was a world
Actually
crash.
started
Yeah.
in the oil country.
Yeah. And it wasn't a nice time at that time either, because we saw a lot of people that were in the industry that just didn't make it
Got
through. So
annihilated.
we felt really blessed that we could actually make it through that. So, yeah.
Yeah. And Vicky, you also mentioned that you had these moments of growth where you would grow and then you would kind of come back. So tell me a little about that. I want to hear about these big milestones.
Yeah, we kind of, we would put more people on, and then all of a sudden it would just be like, oh, this is way too hard. We'd had staffing issues. It was more HR related, I think. Don't you think?
Yeah, HR department at that time was a bit sketchy.
It was all him. No, it just got a bit too hard, and we didn't have, like I said, the right people in the right place.
Yeah.
There's one thing you do in business. If you put the right people in the right spot
Yeah.
that have the right skill sets, life is so much easier.
Yeah.
Well, tell me, how did you learn how to put the right people in the right seats? This is something that I've heard on the show before, and I want to hear how you guys learned how to do
Like
it.
putting the wrong people in the right seat. The right seat.
First,
That's the easier way.
learning the really big
Sure.
lesson.
That comes, I think we were lucky. A lot of our guys that are in the right seats at the moment have been homegrown for us and have been with us 15, 20, 25 years. We've had a few guys that we've hired without from other companies that I had met or known that I thought they're going to fit. They've got the right culture fit, right belief and right knowledge to run that position for us. And they've come over and they've really excelled. Basically how we've got there. I mean, there's no special magic wand here. It's trial and error. Some people you think are going to be awesome turn out to be RS for you. And that's always going to be that way.
Yeah. So tell me about your company culture. I mean, we already got a taste of it a little bit, kind of in just our side comments here. What type of culture are you guys fostering at Network Plumbing?
Well, first it's a foster of believing, right? So we want everyone to have great self-esteem, to believe in themselves, believe in their family, believe in what they do, and understand the price point of giving back. It comes at a price point, right? Spend a lot of time getting that right, and also having fun. If no one's hurt, rejoice today. It's a great day. It doesn't matter whether we make a lot of money, we lost a bit of money. So what? It is what it is. As long as everyone comes home in one piece, it's a great day.
Mm.
And a lot of people forget that. Don't take it so seriously.
Oh.
One day out of 365, out of a decade, what's it matter? You know, just
Yeah.
have fun and enjoy the moment, because I tell you what, life goes so fast. And
Gosh, doesn't it?
it just goes, you don't realize when you get in this business. Well, I was 21, I think, right? 58 next birthday, and you think it goes frigging fast. Blink and it's gone. Our children are working with us now. They're 17 and 18. It goes fast, so don't get caught up on the small shit.
You guys are touching upon topics I've talked about on the show before, but the big one here is mindset, I think, is just keeping that optimistic mindset, keeping that it's not that serious mindset. I really, really like that a lot.
I guess you don't realize any of this until you've had someone get injured working with you or die working with you, and you get a real reality check of what's important in life. And maybe that never happens, and hopefully it doesn't happen to a lot of people, right? But if it does, it actually brings your world back into perspective of what's really important. And a lot of people lose that shit. They don't understand that, hey, money comes and goes. It's a vehicle to do stuff. Life is precious. Hang on to it and have fun. If you don't have fun and don't enjoy it, why do it? Find something else to do.
Yeah.
And that's one of the biggest things in our culture. And I train a lot of our apprentices and anyone in our business really who wants to listen to me.
Anyone who wants to listen to me, I will 100%. They are welcome to.
Not me.
Except for the wife. Is like, guys, if you don't like what you're doing, don't waste your life on this. Go find something that makes you happy. Doesn't matter what you got to be happy what you do. Otherwise, what a shitty life. A lot of people do because they get forced in that way. But this industry, maybe I can just speak to plumber, right? There is no better industry on this planet to work in, as far as I'm concerned. Not like you work outside, you hang out with great people. You usually only work a 5-day week. It is fantastic. The flip side is I go work in an office. I hang out from 9 to 5 in an office. I'd spend all my time in traffic. I know where I'm going to be.
Oh, wait, that's what I do.
That's your problem. But you can get where I'm coming from. Like, it really, for if you're the right person, this is a fantastic industry.
I feel like instead of asking kids what they want to be when they grow up, which is, a common question that we ask in the States, I think we should ask them, what kind of lifestyle do you want? And it sounds like you've created a life for yourself that reflects the kind of lifestyle you want.
For sure, but we also want the people that work with us to have that same lifestyle.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that starts with a mindset, right, and a belief. So if we can work with that, and that is everything in our business. I reckon in the last, I would say 5 years, but especially the last 3 years, we've spent a lot of time working with people, mindset and belief. I've traveled the world extensively in plumbing business, mainly across the US, and we have go to Tommy's garage, A1 garage store, and you've got all these quotes on his walls and stuff. What we noticed on that whole wall was everything that was written there was actually what we believed.
And part of our own mindset that we just
Yeah.
day to day.
And you really didn't notice it till you put it all up on the wall. Like, there's probably 30 sayings on that wall. And we just did one in Melbourne. It was absolutely classic. And what we do now is we bring our teams into that room and we just pick what relates to you. It just makes such a difference. If we can do what others don't for our people who work with us, they're going to stay with us a lot longer.
Yeah.
You just actually care about them. And that's the end of the day. That's it.
It's so interesting. I've been doing this show now. I think you guys are going to be episode 217 or 218. And, I want to talk about how you run your business, how you found success over the years that you've been doing business. But it always, always comes back to culture. No matter what, it always comes back to culture.
Culture over cash every day of the week.
Yeah. And a lot of our people have been with us for a very long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've had some that have been here for, I think, 26 years.
Two 26.
Yeah, 2 at 26 years.
Couple
That's
of
a long
20,
time.
deep in the 15 range. They stay. But these people are friends. They're not just colleagues we turn up to work with.
They're family.
Actually, they're family.
Everyone's family.
We look after them. There's ever a problem, we're there. It's just, you just try to treat people the way you want to be treated. It's pretty simple.
Yeah. And we'd like to do lots of social events with the team as well, as many as we can, whether it be just drinks up at the local pub, or if it's out for dinner. We do Christmas in July. We do all different sorts of things to keep us all together and in sync.
It almost makes me feel like you could be doing anything for your business. Like it doesn't necessarily have to be plumbing. It could literally be any service or any type of business.
It could be
Yeah.
anything.
At the end of the day, we're dealing with people. And our belief, or my belief, is that our people that work with us are our most important people. More important than a customer, they're our rock solid goal. So we got to look after them.
I think that's incredible. Do you guys, not to put you on the spot, but do you have a favorite quote that's on your quote wall?
The one I use at the moment is do what the other 99 won't do.
Yeah, be the 1%
So we're the
and
ones.
do what the 99% won't do.
That's a good quote.
Yeah.
Well, it's just simple. It's a really easy one. It's easy to remember for everyone. And it just tells you, we do what 99 other people don't do. We're going to be better. Be the 1%.
Yeah. I'm curious, when did you bring electrical and air conditioning into the mix?
2 years ago.
2, 3 years.
Oh,
Gosh.
Aircon, 3 years.
COVID
COVID.
just took all the years away. I have no idea.
In there somewhere, yeah, 3 years ago, I think. It hasn't been a great success. We could have done it better.
Yes.
Are we getting better? 100%. Different mindsets again, different team working with, challenging at times for sure, but definitely heading the right way now.
what did you learn from it? What was some, if you could go back in time and tell yourself something?
Don't do
No,
it.
you can't say that.
You can't say that one.
No,
No,
you can't.
seriously, what have we learned from it? The plumbing's really good.
Yeah. Knowing your actual industry is a lot easier than going into an industry that you really have never worked physically in before.
I think the other thing I think I've noticed really, you look at in the States, right, everyone I go and see, they're mostly a 60, 70, 80, 90% aircon and 10% plumbing. Well, we're the other way around, right? And I know why they stay heavy in aircon and light in plumbing and vice versa for us. It's just knowing what you know as a owner of a business and then trying to get your head around another product or service that you're not in the same passionate level. That would be the hardest thing. And we're working there, we've got to find and this comes back to hiring different managers in that business to make it roll. And also aircon or HVAC in Australia is very different to the States. You're a reactive market with a lot of service. Most of the companies here do a lot of construction work and a lot of service. There's very few dedicated service companies. So that's very different. And then you look at what is actually spent in percentage of income or value of a property in the States on aircon to what they spend here. So you take a place in the States where there's plenty of houses worth $200,000, $300,000, $400,000. Well, you can't find a house in Australia for $200,000, $300,000, right? But that person that has a house in the States that's $300K will spend 10, 15% on their aircon.
Or HVAC,
right? That doesn't happen because if you go a $3 million house, they're not going to spend $300,000 on their aircon. You're going to spend the same $30,000. So it's a very tricky little. So in my opinion, it's very different. Maybe I'm just dumb at that. Still a work in process, right? So we'll get it right. And if we look at our Melbourne business, there's 60% of their business is aircon.
Oh, interesting.
And 40% or 30% plumbing and probably
10% electrical. Yeah.
the rest is electrical.
You have the Sydney location and the Melbourne location.
Yeah. So very different business, different people in it. Great business, great logo, great branding.
Great team.
Great team.
Awesome. Well, you say that, you're really passionate about plumbing. You brought in the other trades a couple of years ago. Were you inspired to grow because of how much you value your team and you want to give them more opportunities?
100%. No way I would grow if I didn't have a great team. Wouldn't even contemplate it. And it definitely makes their life better. Because if we capped ourselves at a revenue point, we can't help them any further. Just destroying their life. And that really is not what it's about. It's about trying to give them the best opportunity possible.
Mind you, if you were to ask them, did you enjoy the challenge? They'll probably say no.
No, I just agree. I reckon.
No, a few of them were like, oh, what are we doing?
Why don't you guys tell me a little bit about how you got started with ServiceTitan? Because I believe you are our first customers in Australia.
Oh, what a story.
Actually, that really starts. So when did we first see ServiceTitan? 2012, maybe 2010. When did first? Yeah, long time ago.
We were at a wet show.
We were at a show somewhere in the States.
Could have been a pumper show at that time.
It might have been a Service World or somewhere. And we saw ServiceTitan. And a few of my friends already had ServiceTitan and were playing with it.
Friends in the US, let me be clear.
Yeah. And this is when Ara and was running the trade shows, turning up himself. Like, that's how long ago this was. And we got talking. So we really loved this product. And they said, yeah, one day, but not today. And this went on for years. I'm talking, we went on for 10 years.
Years. And during that time, we were using other programs and we were like, oh, if only we had ServiceTitan, how much better would this be?
And then I reckon 2015, maybe 16, had a meeting with Ara, and he brought in Tom, who I'd met.
Tom Howard.
Here's Tom. Tom's going to look after you today. So we started talking to Tom, and he's saying, yeah. It was a fob off because it was too hard. And I understand when you get through all this, you understand why it was too hard. But we kept talking and kept talking.
We went away a bit disappointed again.
As usual. And we kept at it. And then I met up with Tom again. We started chatting more seriously about it. Tom spoke to Vahe, and they said, oh, well, let's have a crack. And then so Tom got sort of pushed over to come with Matt Laurel, who's a god in ServiceTitan world, to come over here and start playing with it and see if it would work. So they came over for 2 weeks, which was fantastic.
It was so lovely of them to do that.
Then they stayed with us at home, and we had a great time, and we started working.
Wait, you put Matt up in your own house? He was just...
I even shaved his hair. It was a mess.
He had the same haircut as Scott within the first 24 hours.
That's so funny.
So we had a great time, and everything worked. So from there on, then we sort of started running it. Yeah. We trialed it, and then we put it on.
And it was really good because we were lucky enough to be the first ones to be able to use it. But all of our friends within the industry who were also part of the Nexstar group were able to, sort of look at it and see it and touch it and go, oh my gosh, I can't wait to have it. So it put us in a really lovely position.
Yeah, maybe.
In a way.
2.5 years on though, where it's really come, I think there's 48 companies signed up on ServiceTitan here from memory. It does come with challenges, right? But the upside or the optimistic side where I want to be is that it's far better than where we were. And that's really important for people to understand. Hey, it takes a bit to get there, but when you get there, you start to see some real amazing stuff. So they've got to hang in there. In dealing with everyone I've dealt with at ServiceTitan, they've been absolutely fantastic. And I'm not blowing wind up your ass or anything. That's the reality. You talk to anyone that deals with ServiceTitan, the people that are trying to help them get to where they need to go have been freaking awesome. So, in a company your size, that's really awesome.
Thank you. We definitely pride ourselves on customer success. So I'm really happy to hear that. So we are actually having our ServiceTitan's first ever World of Titans event at your shop in Sydney, Australia, hosted by the incredible Ellen Rohr. This is going to be happening April 3rd and 4th, again, in Sydney of this year. If folks listening to this choose to attend, and they check out the link in the show notes to register if you're interested. What can they expect to hear and learn from you two?
They'll definitely learn about great culture. What they will notice when they walk around here, actually, I'm not going to even tell that. I'll tell you off there, and you can guarantee you they'll all say the same thing. But what they will get here when they turn up,
sunshine.
A lot of sunshine. April, maybe not. No. But they'll meet a fantastic team that really loves what they do.
Guarantee they'll have a laugh before they walk out the door.
Oh my gosh!
And we host a lot of people for our business, and we don't hide anything. We're an open book here. You not knock yourself out, ask any questions. If we can answer them, we'll answer them. There's no holy grail here. We all know what we've got to do to get to where we want to be.
And I think that's the most amazing part of being with Scott and being around Scott is that he just loves to share. He's not here. He wants to grow the industry, and he'll help you grow your business, even if it's next door to us. He doesn't care. That's how he's always been, and he just in it for the people.
In saying that, we're all in the same industry. We're all better to share success so everyone becomes better. And the better we all become, the better the industry becomes. And then we can employ better people. The secret here is to get other people to understand that. Because the more people understand that and understand we're not competitors. We share similar customers, but we're not competitors. We're all in the same boat together. There's nothing sadder. And I see this a lot. We've always been a well-priced company, right? And there's nothing sadder when you see people get to 50 or 60, they've been through 1 or 2 marriages, got no money, and it's all for one thing, no belief in their business or their industry or themselves. And that's so sad. And this job's hard. You deserve to win and to give your family and your friends or whatever, and to give back. If you can, and they have to learn to do that. And that's all comes on price point and belief.
Very, very well said. Scott and Vicky, thank you so much for joining me on Toolbox for the Trades today. Thanks for sharing your story and your incredible chemistry with each other and just your lightheartedness. I loved it, man. You guys are great. Thanks again for being on Toolbox for the Trades.
Take
Thank
care.
you.